Man, ladies and gentlemen, welcome the heck back to the channel. You know, in the words of Miss Shonda Vander Ark, welcome the heck back, man. I hope you guys have had a freaking great day. You know, we're gonna do this video with no curse words. We're gonna use all the similar curse words that Shonda uses. But anyways, folks, check this out. We have Paul Ferguson making a phone call to his brother Nolan. Now, this is a particularly special phone call because this is the call that they make before Nolan gets taken down to trial. Yes, as we all know, Nolan was there. He read his whole statement, basically was like, F Shonda, she should go to hell. I mean, that's what I heard when I heard his statement, in my opinion. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and check this call out. It's gonna be Paul being Paul. Super awkward, super. The tension is really high. That's all I can say. But anyways, people, grab your popcorn, grab the chips, the Ritz and cheese, the mimosas. You know what I'm saying? The shots of reposado, whatever you guys need. Let's go ahead and check this thing out.
Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hey, Nolan. So, yeah. Apparently at 5:30, one of the dudes heard Shonda's name on the radio. 5:30, 6 o'clock. So, yeah, they've probably been getting ready for this for quite a while.
And I'll say the closer the trial comes, the more he is obsessed about Shonda Vander Ark, a.k.a. Mama. That's what he called them. If you guys check out my live streams, I've been reading the text messages. We're about halfway through. But when he texts her and when he speaks to her, it's Mama to him. It's not Mother, Shonda, Vander Ark. It's none of that shit. It's a Mama, Mommy, and Mama. That's what he calls her. You know what I'm saying? Real mama's boy. So it's just funny that he gets more and more obsessed about this trial, right? The closer it comes up to her trial. Because, again, whatever happens to her will therefore kind of weigh on to him. So if she gets a life in prison, he knows he's looking at least, what we saw, 30 to 100. But say she got 30 to 100 years, he would be like, oh, okay, so maybe I'm getting like 9 to 15. You know what I'm saying? So that's my whole reason why I think Paul is so obsessed over Shonda. Nothing in particular other than he wants to have a nice little foreshadow of what his trial, I should say, of what his sentence is going to look like.
Yeah.
I was subpoenaed for 8:45, but it's, almost 9:30 now?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, things are backed up.
Yeah.
Right.
Just take deep breaths, everything. Oh,
Said what?
I said take deep breaths, everything's going to be okay.
Yep. Talking my
Take deep breaths. Everything is going to be okay, sir. Everything is not going to be okay. You're looking at your last couple days of freedom, buddy, or I should say your last couple days of jail time, because you're going to go to prison very soon. And I feel like Nolan may have thought Paul wasn't going to get that much time, even though deep down Nolan knows Paul had something to do with it. He was like, man, hopefully Paul gets off. I'll deal with him. He'll just be my little murderous brother that I look after, my little shithead. But thank God, one thing I'll say, thank God Nolan didn't have to take the responsibility of a Paul Ferguson. Because if say he didn't go to jail, let's say he got out on probation in some strange, fucked up, twisted universe, Nolan would have been the one who had to babysit this little freak. 100%. Nobody else was going to put up with him. And I feel like Nolan has the kindness in his heart to where he would have had to put up with this freak. He was even talking about housing and where he would stay if he got out later on. So, yeah, serves him right. And good for Nolan for not having to put up with that.
lawyer, again yesterday, as I said on the text. And he also let me see a picture of Gabe from his 9th birthday.
Nice.
Yes, he had a cake in the shape of a Minecraft pig's head. It was adorable.
That is cute.
Yep. took a second because it was upside down for me in the picture. It's like, hang on. But
Did you get to see Mom and Dad or just talk to them?
neither yet.
Hope you get to see him. I'm sure Mom would love to give you a hug.
Yeah, I'd love to give her a hug as well. I talked to them the other day. That was when I texted you. That was after I'd found out that they were coming up here.
Okay, now a few videos ago, it got like 20,000 views or some shit. But a few videos ago, I posted that Paul was talking with Trish, and he was just like, "You're coming? Oh God, they're coming to my trial." He was out of this world scared. Like, your boy was shook to his core. He was like, "Oh my God, she's gonna come and see firsthand the bullshit that I put my brother through." And again, come check out my live stream every 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. I'll be live tomorrow also because I need to finish the text messages. We read through those text messages piece by piece, ladies and gentlemen. And when I tell you there's nothing but hate and nothing but hatred in these two's hearts, Paul and Shonda, you know? So I just wanted to point that out. It's really funny that he found out that way.
Mm-hmm.
Funniest thing is, I didn't even know that Dad was the one driving until he spoke up around the end of the call. It's like, "Oh, hi."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm at least glad that, Mom was honest with me about things.
Yeah.
She was obviously upset that I hadn't done anything to stop it.
Well, that's not important now. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing to say to do anything about it.
But
You see, his brother is a good guy. Sad that he's a good guy. You need to be a worse person in the world. You need to be an asshole every once in a while, because this is the type of shit Paul sees. Like, oh, Nolan is unconditional. Remember we talked about that unconditional love shit, right? Paul is like, oh, Nolan's love is super unconditional. I'm going to take advantage of this. Fuck that. I wouldn't even be talking to this kid. Like, you got me fucked up. Like, say my sister killed my brother. Like, why, what is there to talk about? I'll talk to you the first time. I'll try to understand what happened. Maybe figure out, try to convince myself why you had to do it. But in the case of Paul, there's no convincing yourself. Text message after text message after text message. Torture. Ice baths. Running upstairs. Malnourishment. Torture. Ice baths. Like a regime. I even got tired reading. There's 2,500 pages of text messages, guys. There was so much to where I had to end the stream at 3 hours. I was like, yo, I'm tired of reading. We'll come back. It's wild, guys. And it's important we do these deep dives and shit because it kind of gives you the warning signs, you know? It kind of gives you, like, behavior of a fucking psycho because no one knew she was crazy. No one knew she was doing all this stuff. So it kind of gives you, like, maybe some warning signs like, oh, why can't I come into your house? Is everything okay in there? Why every time I come here, I have to be at the front of the door to pick up my grandchild? Like, certain things were super red flags that normal people just wouldn't even realize. But anyways, let's continue.
Yep. She also told me that apparently that upsets her when I say that I hope all of this is over, which I guess to her it almost sounds like I'm trying to shirk responsibility again, which I can understand. So, but you enjoying your week off?
Yeah, it's been great so far.
Yeah. I don't think I've heard you too often with sleep still in your voice.
Yeah, I'm sleeping in a little bit.
Yeah, I'll bet. You normally have to get up at what, 4 or 5?
No, not that early. It's just that I work late into the night. I usually have to get up between 7:30 and 8, and then go to work and then be home at like in between 10 and sometimes after midnight.
Yo, I know how that go. Those are the trenches right there. Those are when you're out there in the trenches. I'll be getting home at 1, 2 in the morning after work. Finish around 1 o'clock. maybe get a drink at the bar with some friends, back home, back to work the next day, upload a video, back to work. You know what I'm saying? 1 o'clock in the morning, go home, make a video, back to work, wake up the next day, edit it, back to work. Man, listen, that cycle is vicious. But hey, you got to do what you got to do to get where you want to be sometimes, you know? I'm sure Nolan has his own plans, has his own goals, but I know that feeling. Push, 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 push. But hey, if you guys have something you're pushing for and it's worth it to you, best believe, man, best believe every fucking second is worth it. Just don't get too carried away. Don't destroy too many relationships that you really want in the future. But other than that, man, yeah, that's a grind right there. Nolan's going through it. I call that trenches right there. That's trench work.
Yikes. So, how's the job search going?
Actually, that reminds me, I need to check my email. It's going.
Yeah. So, to be honest, I actually don't know if the money that was put on Commissary was Grandpa Vander Ark's. It might have been Mom and Dad, because no more has been dropped of the $350 that he's gonna get for the frickin' bikes and whatnot. But I saw my other text about the personal belongings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be all right, won't it? With you, as long as it's okay with them.
Yeah. How are they sending it to me?
I think Grandpa's gonna mail it. Grandpa Vander Ark mail it, but I'm gonna see about talking to my lawyer today, because an idea popped into my head. I was thinking, since after all of this, Mom and
This is not your lawyer, bro. This is a public defender who gives no fucks about you. I've never heard of a public defender who openly walks up to you and says, yo, I don't fuck with you because you killed that person. I've never seen that happen before. Like, his public defender informed him very, very professionally that he does not fuck with him. So if you got your own defense telling you that, yeah, you need to go to jail, and I hope you do go to jail, pretty much, what are you going to talk to him for? You need to fire his ass and get another lawyer. That's what you need to do. Paul is like, yeah, I'm going to talk to my lawyer. My lawyer should be able to get something done. Like, yes, I'm going to go. Nah, bro, lawyer don't fuck with you. And Paul said it himself, which is odd to me, that he still thinks that he can go to his lawyer about an appeal, and he could go to his lawyer about certain things. Keep in mind, in my head, your public defender, your attorney, whoever the fuck is representing you, files the appeal for you. That's just what I thought. Paul had to get that shit filed by himself. He asked Randy didn't do it. He asked JoJo didn't do it. He finally got his fiance to file the appeal. So, I mean, come on, that tells you enough. That's enough being said right there. His lawyer wants him to lose, which is amazing for the lawyer. Good for him. Good for the lawyer.
Dad will probably drop by to see you when all this is concluded.
Mm-hmm.
Figured I could have him just give the stuff to them, and they could bring it to you for safekeeping. So, I just hope that'll be okay with them.
Yeah. Hold on, actually, I'll respond to it.
You said what?
Oh, nothing. I have an email I need to respond to. You reminded me that I messaged the guy about a job.
Yeah. No. Will you be able to drop money this week?
Yeah, I can drop money this week.
Okay.
Begging, bro. When there's a time of silence, just beg. Whenever there's a time of doubt and you don't know what to say, you're hanging out with a girl, you're hanging out with your buddy, just ask them to pay for something. That should spice up the conversation a little bit. That should give you a little bit of spice to your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I know we came here and I bought all this shit at Chick-fil-A, but can you pay for me? It's just a curly fries and no, it's not curly fries. They have the waffle fries. It's just a waffle fries and a sandwich and a drink and a slushie. Could you pay for me? That's Paul. Whenever there's a moment of silence, best believe he's gonna ask for some money. It's like, bro, you should get used to the prison food or something. Go work out, get used to that shit, because when you get to prison, it's not gonna be all cherries and rainbows. It's gonna be bad. It's not gonna be good. Fun fact, I've visited a prison. I mean, I'm sure folks have visited prisons before, but my dad used to work at a prison. He was like a counselor for people who would lose their minds. Basically for people who would really just start losing their shit, right? They would start punching themselves or, bang heads against the wall. Just they can't handle it, right? Maybe they're looking at life. Maybe they're looking at 20 years. They can't handle it. My dad would go in there and talk to these folks, right? So one day it was like a take your kid to work day type deal, right? So I went with him. I think I went with him and like my sister. It was weird. I don't know why we took her, but yeah. My sister went for some reason. Anyway, that place it's fucked up. And I know it's a third world country, but still. That prison is tough. Like the food, get out of here. You want to talk about food? It's rough out there. You want shit. You damn near have to have like a commissary system in Belize, or else you're probably gonna be malnourished as fuck. Like the food, it's not popping at that prison, right? So I can imagine what it's gonna be. I mean, this is America, whatever. But I know we got some fucked up prisons out here as well. So yeah, wherever the fuck Paul went, put in the comments what prison Paul went to. I forgot, but yeah, whatever prison Paul went to, I'm sure it's gonna be even more of a culture shock. Even further from jail, even after jail, he's going to have more of a culture shock when he gets to prison.
What?
No, I'm looking into it right now, actually. So you don't know what time they're going to call you? They were supposed to call you already?
Yeah, 8:45 a.m. I woke up at like 7:40.
Yeah.
Couldn't go back to sleep. My body was just wired.
Right.
Brush my teeth, put on deodorant, comb my hair. Have you managed to find where Shonda's court is being live streamed or anything?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, did I tell you that at the moment the charge is open murder?
Yes.
And this is going to decide whether it's first, second, third, or manslaughter.
Yeah, I know.
Bro. See, this is the problem. Paul is thinking about the wrong things right now. It doesn't matter if it's open murder, closed murder, bottom murder, top murder. It's still murder, bro. You know what I'm saying? So guess what? You needed to go and find another lawyer. With all that little Randy money, that little JoJo commissary money, he should have found himself a little crummy lawyer that would have at least tried. You got this public defender that's not going to do not one single flying fuck for you. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. And honestly, that's what he deserves. That public defender, whoever represented Paul, good for you, bro. But, yeah, he's worried about the wrong things. The charges, the name, the severity, it doesn't matter. You're looking at double digits no matter what. So you need to more so focus on someone who can actually represent you. But, Paul was always, someone always thought for Paul. So he's not very accustomed to thinking for himself. I'm very sure of that. So this is the result. This is the result of it right here.
Which obviously we're hoping that they're pushing for first degree, so that that's instant life without parole. Basically,
yeah, but you you need to worry about you and not her.
Yeah, you fucking moron.
Yep. Sorry. Like I said, stressing.
I know, but just focus on what you got to worry about.
You're worried about her natural life, bro. She's 40-something. Get over it. Shut the fuck up. Worry about yourself. So irritating. And it's like, yeah, so we're hoping she'll get life. Like, bro, you're hoping? Really? Are you? Or are you just terrified and you're just hoping that you can compare something? Compare your sentence to her or something like that. Have someone give you some words of comfort. No one's going to give you words of comfort. You're going to have to face that shit yourself. Every time he brings up Shonda, it's like, yeah, bro, we don't care. Stop telling us about it. You can just ponder that yourself. We don't want to, Trish told him, shut up. Nolan told him, shut up. Don't want to hear it. His father don't want to hear it. You want to be a man. You want to go and inflict pain. You want to go and have power. You want to rule over somebody. You want to be a man, right? Take on your manly responsibilities now. Face that shit like a man. That's what I would tell him.
Yep. So, when did Mom and Dad tell you that they were heading up here for court? Probably wasn't long before or after I said something.
She had mentioned going up for it a while back, but then it got moved.
It slipped your mind?
And, well, it got moved. And then, like, the date. And then we both assumed that they weren't actually going to have it here in December, so we didn't really talk about it. And then not long ago, I guess she found out they weren't going to move it and decided to come up.
Yep. Apparently one of the dudes in here sat for like 5 hours in the holding area waiting to go to court because of all this.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I told him I can't apologize for my biological mother's idiocy. I can only apologize for the inconvenience she's causing.
I can't apologize for my mother's idiocy. Bro, you need to apologize for yourself. He keeps trying to separate himself from her idiocy. Bro, the text messages, bro. The text messages. I got page after page after page. I could throw pages at you guys like it was money at a strip club. Like if I carry these pages to a strip club, I'd be throwing money all night. There's page after page of your involvement, Paul. You know what I'm saying? Him being basically, and the way they said he was her enforcer, I was like, whatever. That was my first opinion. Like, okay, he was her enforcer. What the fuck ever. No, he was really her enforcer. He did everything she wanted done. In other words, Shonda barely laid a hand on Timothy. You understand what I'm saying? She barely did anything. It was hands off. Paul was doing everything. Paul bathed the kids. Paul did the ice bath because she doesn't like seeing private parts of her sons. Paul fed the dogs. Paul made him do the chores. Paul watched him do the chores. Paul did the punishments, the chasing stairs. Paul did everything. I would say Shonda actually did, like physically did, 30%. I could confidently say Shonda did about 30%. Paul did the rest. Paul did the other 70, for sure. It's in the text messages, unless they're just lying in text messages, which makes no sense. Thousands of pages proving that Paul's the actual one doing this shit. Get the fuck out of here. Shonda's not the inconvenience. You're the main one. You're the main one. He's the one that should have been doing life, bro. 100% he should have been doing life. He is lucky. The judge actually did him a solid, giving him fucking 30 years. I swear to God. Because he should be doing life.
Right.
Yeah. So, he's in 3rd grade. I think he's in public school now. I don't know. I think Steven's going to be there in court. My lawyer said he saw him yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And talking about G, they keep saying his full name, so I'm going to redact it for them, fucking idiots. But the thing about G, the younger kid, Someone in my live chat, I don't know how true it is, they said he wasn't even literate. He couldn't even read and write. An 8-year-old not being able to read or write. That is insane. What type of house are they living in? What type of household was this? You have a fucking 8-year-old that can't read nothing? He just can't read. Like, just can't read. That is wild. That is crazy. 8 plus 8, what does that equal? That's 16. 8 more years, this is going to be a fucking 16-year-old. Reading at an 8-year-old level. Wow. You know what I'm saying? It's wild. Nah, I don't think he's going to stay reading at that level. I think you can learn reading really quickly. But still, you're not going to be at the same pace as other people. It's just one of those things. It's like, if it's true, because I just saw it in the chat. A few people put it out there. Comment in the chat. Comment in the comments if that's, if you guys also found that to be the case. But yeah, that's crazy to me.
So, maybe I'll ask how Gabriel's doing at least, if I can.
Right.
But I do hope that I can talk to him.
I'll need to figure out what I'm going to send him for Christmas.
I think he has enough Legos at this point.
Yeah, that's what Steve said.
He likes battle bots, but he has a good amount of the figures that we got last Christmas.
Yeah, I need to figure out. Steve said to get him something space themed or a book or something. Yeah, but I'm not sure what exactly to get him.
Space telescope.
I don't know. I think he might still be a little young to use a telescope.
Yeah. The scar from when Jim and I bit him last year is healed. Thank God.
What does that have to do with anything?
Right.
The lighting made one of his eyes look puffy, but it was, just the lighting. He looked good otherwise.
Yeah. Imagine letting Paul have, like, I almost said ownership. But imagine letting Paul have guardianship over Timothy. Like, imagine the family thinking about Paul giving, not Timothy, G, the other child. Imagine Paul giving, like, helpful advice about G when you did that to Timothy. Like, bro, please, anything you tell us to do, we're probably going to do the opposite because, we're going to do the opposite.
It's not letting me, let me try.
What's going on?
It's not letting me add money to your commissary.
That's odd.
It says the maximum you can deposit is $0. I wonder if it's... I'm not sure. I'll close it and try it again in a few minutes.
Yep. Shonda is going to testify. I think that was obviously a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
I keep switching topics, but anyway.
Yeah, you do.
I think that they said that they're going to play the audio from the camera in the closet that caught the conversation, which very clearly points out that a lot of the bull she was spitting.
A lot of the bull she was spitting. I hate the way he speaks. Again, every time you hear him speak, you kind of just want to slap the fuck out of him, like, for real. Like, every picture you see of Paul Ferguson, it's like, damn, that's somebody you would probably just want to beat. It's like every time you see him, it's like, yeah, I could beat the fuck out of him. I beat his ass. That's the first thing you say because he just looks like such a victim. And the fact that he was doing all this predatory stuff to his brother is actually crazy. A victim doing this type of stuff to the one person who couldn't defend himself. Paul would get beat up. This is the type of kid Paul is. Paul was 19 at the time, 19, 20. Paul would get beat up by a 15-year-old. Like a 15-year-old who wasn't having any body movement issues, and he went to the gym. He's part of the basketball team. Somebody who's just well developed. A 15-year-old, I would put money on it. A 15-year-old would beat the shit out of Paul. Just grab any 15-year-old from the basketball team, the track team, any kid who's just active and knows his worth, and beat his ass. They would fuck Paul up. A 15-year-old, bro. I promise you. I'm not even lying. A 15-year-old would beat the shit out of Paul. So it's just funny to see him take advantage of somebody. The one person in his life that really couldn't defend himself, Paul was all on top of that. He was ready to go.
So, I miss you.
Ew.
I miss you too, buddy.
Have you managed to figure out the video call?
No, and I can't even get into it right now because it won't let me add Commissary. Well, let me...
Okay, I skipped ahead a little bit, but this was like almost 30 seconds to a minute of no talking. He was like, "Just wait, give me a second." You know what Nolan is doing? He's running the stop clock down. He's running down the stop clock because he's like, "Okay, our 15-minute call is about to end pretty soon. Paul is already starting to beg for money. He's begging for video calls. He's begging for a lot. Let's go and run this clock down and be like, oh, sorry, Paul. Love you. Gotta go. Boop, boop, boop." That's what he's waiting for.
Well, he told me he was going to take something. He took out 500, and that kind of screwed me on getting back to room. Because you got there before I did. Before the room started. All right, so...
Do you think at some point...
You have 1 minute left.
See?
Geez. You said what?
I said I'm looking into the video thing right now. I don't see Muskegon County on here, but I'll try and figure it out, okay?
Okay, but I love you, and I miss you.
I love you too, buddy. Good luck today, and just listen to your lawyer and talk slow and be careful, okay?
Okay.
All right. I love you, buddy.
Bro.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Yes, indeed. That was Paul and Nolan. So this is the day of his trial. Super obsessed with Shonda. Super, right now he's just dumping blame. He's just dumping, offloading blame onto Shonda. He's like, oh yeah, that guy was waiting in there for 5 hours because of Shonda's trial. I told him sorry because Shonda, Shonda's a piece of shit. He's trying everything to just get that negative off of him. But guess what? It's not going to work. The jury saw straight through it. The judge definitely saw straight through it. The judge buried him into a hole. The judge is the one who really was like, nah, fuck you. I'm going to add some extra time. Shout out that judge, because the judge really could have gave him less time. But yeah, again, the text messages sealed their fate. Those text messages are so damning, so condemning, and so repetitive, meaning that they were doing this torturous bullshit over and over and over. That's the main thing about it. They're so repetitive and so meticulous to where it's like, yeah, no, you guys need more time. I think the judge said if there was any case to where the guidelines did not reflect the crime done, this would be the one. We have to put the guidelines higher, or we have to extend past the guidelines. That's what the judge said. So, but yeah, anyways, folks, I love you guys, man. You guys are freaking awesome. You guys got me to 21K. Let's get up to 22K. If you guys aren't subscribed and you like the content, make sure you guys go ahead and slam the subscribe button. I don't tell you guys to subscribe often, but subscribe. It's a dope ass channel. Until then, folks, I love you guys, man. Stay inside, stay safe. Tell your aunties, nieces, nephews. We're coming back with another one tomorrow. I'm out of here.